Welcome back. It is 4:46 on your Friday. We've made it. Here we go, getting you into the weekend. The heat is not going to let up. It's going to stay very, very hot all the way through the weekend, but maybe a few more storms. Take a look at today. We are not looking at much rain today, less than a 10%, and we'll watch for highs back near the triple digit. We hit 100 yesterday. We hit 102 the day before. We'll probably be around 100 again today, which would break the old record. And look at your temperatures through the weekend. We'll be around 100 Saturday and Sunday, and then finally, some mid to low 90s. It's not a lot, but we'll start to see some improvements by Tuesday, Wednesday as a front moves in and we get some rain in the forecast. Now, I do think we're going to see a few more storms this weekend, so afternoon storms popping up this weekend. Not everyone gets it, but a few do. And then Monday and Tuesday, much higher rain chances across the region as that front gets closer. And then depending on how far the front moves in and if it can move all the way through, we may dry out Wednesday and Thursday with some lower humidity. That part of the forecast still a bit up in the air. Now, the tropics still very, very active. We are getting to that part of the season where there's a lot going to be going on. We're into late August through at least the first couple of weeks of September, and even all of September can remain very, very active. Franklin is going to start to lift to the north. It'll be near Bermuda by Tuesday morning as a maybe Category 3 hurricane, and then it'll lift out toward the Atlantic. These other two features not worried about, but the Gulf of Mexico is going to be the next spot to watch for our next maybe named storm. Now, you can see the National Hurricane Center now has a big part of this in red, showing that we are likely going to get a depression or maybe a storm here in the next 3 to 4 days or so as this feature slowly lifts to the north. So it's not going to be doing much in the near term, I don't think, and it's going to be moving fairly slowly, but by early next week, it'll start to speed up and move north and then northeast. So let's walk you through what our global models are showing. They're showing a very similar scenario at this point, which is what we like to see. The European in green, the GFS, the American model in red, and they show through Saturday and Sunday, it moves to the north and then doesn't move much as it sits near the Yucatan Peninsula this weekend. It's not until Monday that it finally starts to move north and then northeast. It still looks like Florida would be the most likely scenario with this setup, whether it's the European model being a bit more aggressive with a bona fide tropical storm or maybe even hurricane coming towards Florida, and the GFS American model being a little bit less aggressive. I do think there is a chance that this could be a named storm approaching Florida and then maybe the East Coast next week. So why is it steering and why is it not moving much in the near term? Well, it's going to be stuck under this ridge through the weekend. So that's why it's just going to sit down here near Cancun and Cozumel. And then once the ridge backs away, that trough can swing down, pick it up and grab it. So it does look like with that trough coming down, that would steer this more towards Florida. With that being said, there's still plenty of uncertainty, especially with this thing getting hung up underneath the ridge. We are still going to watch it here. I do still want you checking in on the forecast through the weekend just in case, just to make sure there's no changes. But right now, the most likely scenario is a Florida landfall Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And that's where the big chunk of moisture would be if this setup plays out. We would get our cool front coming in around Tuesday. And if this is a strong enough storm, it would actually help us out. It would pull in some dry air for Louisiana and Mississippi. It would feel a lot nicer Wednesday and Thursday. Once again, there is still some uncertainty. Please don't go through the entire weekend not checking the forecast. As you know, things can change, especially since there's nothing really there right now. So we'll check in on the forecast in the morning and in the evenings this weekend. And then as you can see there, we'll watch for higher rain chances on Monday and Tuesday. And hopefully we can get some of that nicer feeling air in here by Wednesday and Thursday.